What's up, everybody? How you guys doing today? We have our next game coming up, and it is of course another part of the End of the Storm tournament. We've been talking about the winner bracket match in Group B, and this is exactly what we're going to cast next. It's Roccat versus NaVi, and the series starts off with a match on Cursed Hollow. And particularly, I am very happy to cast this game right now because we have a hero that I really love to cast. It is Kerrigan. Kerrigan, even with a bit of Abathur support, the hero got prioritized very highly by NaVi. They were trying to get him right at the beginning, and they were successful with it in the draft. Now they are playing an Abathur together with a Kerrigan, and as their tank it is a Tyrael, so they can really jump in deep with both of these heroes and try to lock targets down. Roccat, on the other hand, they took down the evil Murkies, and they are playing this with a Zagara. They have a Mirrodin and a Johanna up at the front line for the defense, and they will need the two of them. They will need their stuns and their disrupt. They have this poking setup that Team Liquid made popular on the European server with the Zagara and the Zebo in the back line. And we're going to jump into game number 1 right away. It's a best of 3 series, of course. Cursed Hollow is our first map, and let's see if Kerrigan, after the changes in the patch, can come through for NaVi, or if Roccat is going to bring them down. Welcome everybody to game number 1, Enter the Storm, the playoffs, and we are in Group B, and we have NaVi going up against Roccat. It is the winners match here today. We already had both of the teams play one best of 3, and NaVi was able to take down, well, Kinguin with the 2-0, and Roccat defeated the evil Murkies without dropping a map. Now we have the two teams going up against each other with NaVi to the left side, starting with Splendor on Uther, JPL on Jaina. We're having Shrimpy on Abathur, Eternal on Kerrigan, and Alex the Frog on Tyrael. To the right side of the map, it's Roccat, the German team, Shadowma on Rhaegar, Chris on Azebo, Hazobs on Zagara, Sport Billy on Mirrodin, and Zocke playing Johanna. Yeah, this is going to be a fun game. We have some Kerrigan action, and I really like to see Kerrigan. The new changes to her, it was just absolutely amazing. It was actually interesting to see that last time we saw Alex play the hero, he basically stuck with the old school talents. By the way, Eternal, like, what the hell is this? This mount and Kerrigan composition? Are you on drugs? You can't just simply put the Queen of Blades on a tiger. What is wrong with you, dude? This is wrong on so many levels. I don't even know what to say. Eternal, we need to talk. We really need to talk, dude. This is just wrong. This is totally wrong. No respect for the Queen of Blades. Puts her on a tiger. I can't believe it. But he goes on level 1 for the sharpened blades with the additional damage. Kerrigan, of course, saw a few changes in the last patch, and that really helps her, and especially her viciousness. The Queen of Blades was always a beast to deal with, but right now she's even more dangerous than she was before. And we're going to see those rotations, and Kerrigan up at the top lane now, maybe. JPL down to the bottom, currently rocking his Jaina. We're having Abathur jumping up to the top. Shrimpy is, of course, going to try and soak as much experience as he possibly can during those tribute spawns. Eternal moves in and tries to at least put some damage in for now. I'm very curious to see if he's going for his shield talents then later on, especially on level 13 and level 16, if he picks a few of those, because that assimilation shield that you can get is incredible. And if you take both of them and then maybe even go for the Omega Storm on level 20 instead of the Bolt of the Storm, then you can get so much shield during a fight that you have a ton of sustain. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if this is going to be picked up by him. Eternal in this case not going to go for his combo against Zocke, and the reason is of course quite simple. Zocke was just like waiting to use his own trait, to use his, yeah, there it is, his Iron Skin, and therefore Eternal just trying to bait that out without actually using his mana in this case, and that's a very smart move. We have up to the top lane Sport Billy going up against Alex the Pro G. Hazobs is of course assisting and putting also the creep tuners everywhere. Eternal is still trying to jump in and not getting that lockdown against Hazobs. Didn't even go for the full combo there. Was a bit too late for that, but still pretty decent move. Super excited about this one. This is going to be really good. We're having Shadowma and Chris at the bot lane still with a heavy push line up here. Chris, of course, on his Nazebo can do a lot of damage there. But up to the top, Eternal with another attempt to take Sport Billy out. Kerrigan on level 4 now, still with Envenom. Level 4 feels actually at this point like the weakest talent on Kerrigan. It's one of those talents where, or one of those levels where you always feel, well, what exactly am I supposed to get here now? And Envenom is still a solid choice. And they're actually going to get Sport Billy. Envenom puts him down, and Alex jumps in together with Abathur to get that kill. So solid performance here already by NaVi. They get the first kill in the game. Now they can rotate down to the bottom, where we are seeing the tribute spawn in a few seconds. Splendor is getting slowed down by Zocke thanks to Punish and Condemn. Not sure if they can really... yeah, well, they can channel it for now. Or at least cancel the channel, I should probably say. So the rotation is still happening. Ballistosporos Ballistospores are taken now, and that's the global range. We're going to see the level 7 talents for the Toxic Nest as well. Good kill against Rhaegar here. Eternal again with Kerrigan really putting the damage in, getting the combo off and locking down Rhaegar. And they have a chance to do the same thing to Sokka now too. I still think he has his trade up, so he should still have the Iron Skin, and that helps him of course. Shrimpy at the top lane would have loved to soak some extra experience in one of those pushes, but Hazop's never really moved from the position, and therefore he could easily just push this entire wall in. Job very well done actually by him. He's running out of mana, but he's still going to get that second tower. Eternal over here needs to be quite careful against Spotbilly. He was trying to hide in that bush to lay an ambush for Nazebo, but that didn't really work out for them. We're seeing now in the mid lane the rotation starting. Sokka again. There is a double warrior setup for Rocket, so Eternal has to be careful. If Sokka starts things off with a Condemn or a Punish and then the Stormbolt hits him as well, it's going to put him into a very awkward position where he's going to be stun locked for quite some time. The level 7s are coming in now, and there's the battle momentum. The only shield talent that you can really take on level 7 is one that gives you increased regeneration on hit points and mana. Very nice for sustain overall, but still pretty tricky. Eternal gets shielded by Abathur, but Spotbilly gets the kill. I think he's gonna fall to Alex though. Well, actually, with that particular move right now, the Stormbolt, can he get away? He's on the wrong side of the map, that's his problem. And with the Goblin, he's trying to escape, and he has the health that he needs. That trade on Spotbilly helps him with this. Very nice kill here. So Muradin with a cool move, taking down Kerrigan, and still escaping, even though for the first moment it really looked like he couldn't do it. Very, very well done. So, great job here. As I already said, the battle momentum is still a very standard talent to take for Kerrigan on level 7, and battle momentum really helps her. But of course on level 7 you have a few other talent choices, and one of the new ones is that shield talent that I've been talking about earlier. As long as you have a shield, you get an additional regeneration from 100% on mana and hit points, and that's actually pretty cool if you want to have sustain. But if you're careful with when you're using your combos, and so far Eternal has been doing exactly that, then you can just be in a position where you have, where you don't really need it. So instead it's battle momentum that allows Kerrigan in those fights to get the combo off a bit faster, or not faster, but a bit more often. We're seeing on level 7, by the way, Needle Spine taken. Now that surprises me a bit. After the level 4 talent on Toxic Nest, I would have thought that Abathur is trying to head straight into his level 7 talent as well to get the extra slow on his mines, which he didn't do. Alex, by the way, is still helping, or still being helped by the symbiotes on Abathur, so they're together, still dominating that lane. But another tribute is there. Splendor already trying to soak, and the jump in. Kerrigan is here, can go for the lockdown. She's trying to get that in, and good stun against Muradin, but there's nobody to follow up the damage, so they can't get the kill against the tank. Splendor in the backline. There's one last Baneling rolling in and forcing him to cancel the channel, but they're gonna get it after all, especially now with the kill against Johanna. There's no problem for them to really make this one work, as of course it was a 5 versus 4 the entire time. Since down to the bot lane, it's still Nazebo, played by Chris, that is dominating the lane, and together with those Siege Giant, he's easily able to destroy the wall and put some pressure on the fort itself. Maelstrom being used by Kerrigan. We're seeing the ultimate evolution for the double Jaina, the potential double Kerrigan, by the way. We're having also now Ravenous Spirit. The talent got buffed in the last patch, and therefore it's currently quite strong. Double Kerrigan, and there we go! The Queen is moving in, but Shadowmar heals himself with an ancestral healing. Well played. Spotbilly jumps in, and now all of a sudden here comes the Maw into play. Capturing 2, Eternal with a Maelstrom, but he's very alone. He gets the Divine Shield in the last second though, but the Ravenous Spirit is rushing in to take down Splendor, and Uther is killed. Yeah, trying to get Eternal now as well. He should be able to move away, but then he gets actually hit by that tower. Oh, knocked off the horse. Eternal, he's running away, gets punished. Shield glare. Wow, Kerrigan is running away and escapes. One more hit, that's all that was needed here. 2 tributes were earlier taken by Team Navi, but now it's Rocket with a second tribute for them. Great play here too. That was really something that they were able to take not only the camp earlier. Actually, the camp hasn't even been taken. There's still one knight there. But yeah, they go for boss now and try to take another minion or another mercenary on the map. And as we still had that one kill, there's just very little that Navi can do about it. They are moving in, but they're a bit too late for this one, or are they? They jump in, go deep, but there's only 3. Abathur comes in, he has also the ancestral healing. They're really trying to go for the kill here. They get it against Sokka. No, they don't, and they steal the boss away. I can't believe that worked. They took the boss and now they get the kill against Johanna. And not only that, they take Nazeebo out and mirrored it. Oh my god. At the beginning it really looked like it wouldn't work out because they only had a few heroes over there. But it was just the last second move by Tyrael. He jumps in with Eldrune's might and they get 3 heroes taken out. They only lose Tyrael and they claim the boss now too. Unbelievable. Navi with the plays here. They jump in and take it, and while that boss is wreaking havoc up at the top lane, there's another tribute now spawning on the map, and that drops the curse onto Roccat. Navi is close to level 13 and absolutely crazy that that worked out for them. With the boss already moving on the top lane, they go straight for the one down here at the bottom. The curse is helping, of course, and this is just crazy good. That boss move, they were actually moving in with this one, and wow, can't believe that worked. Alex went so deep. On his Tyrael, he jumped in and there was just nobody to help him out at first, but then Kerrigan was there with a stun, Shrimpy jumping in, of course, first of all with the symbiote, and he could use the copy too. That was such an important battle that they fought there. It looked for a second really like if they overextend there and they lose 2 or 3 heroes and then suddenly the boss is also moving in up at the top lane, that's a completely changed game. But they were able to make it work. Now they have the level 13, they have the boss moving through the bot lane, they are looking on Kerrigan for Eviscerate, the increased Ravage range. And they're jumping in deep against this one, and the boss is stunning as well. Oh, Tyrael a bit too late. They're still blocking Shadowmar though, and another stun is going to finish him off. Even with the Ravenous Spirit here, that was just a great body block move that they had there. Now they're jumping in with another potential kill against Chris. Nazeebo taken out. Abathur just helping too much, and Zokke is all alone and also eliminated. It is another triple kill. Up at the top lane, we still saw a slight push on Zagara, but now it looks like one of those keeps might actually fall. Level 15 versus level 13 to be. There's the extra talent, but only Sport Billy is alive and has ops. That's not enough. Healing Surge taken. We're seeing Hold Your Ground now too. And of course, this keep is history. And therefore, Navi just rotating back. They're very close to level 16 now. In a great position to take this game. Unbelievable so far. That game, particularly that boss move, of course, was just crazy good. And Roccat, they are 3 level behinds now, and most importantly of all, they are an entire talent behind. It's a double blood for blood that we're seeing. No shield talent taken for Kerrigan, and at this point they don't really need that extra sustain for her. I mean, Kerrigan so far was absolutely fine. Tyrael is helping her out with the shield. Abathur is always jumping in as well, so why would she need that additional assimilation shield? There's no real need for that. She can keep herself alive with the blood for blood now. We're having a blood for blood material too, so if they go deep, they have some additional sustain. Did not go for the potential. Yeah, he could also have just simply gone into the area move here into Holy Ground and try to lock somebody out for positioning, but to be honest, as a single tank, even with an Abathur, it makes sense to just add a bit of self-sustain so that if you get focused after you jump in, that you can at least get some hit points back, thanks to the blood for blood. We're having for Jaina now, Numbing Blast taken, there's Benediction. Abathur is very likely to go into the slow, but he could theoretically go into the movement speed as well. It's a talent that has been a bit more popular just lately on level 16. If you go for the shield talent, you can get a movement speed bonus, and that really would work with Kerrigan, of course, as well. She already has a huge range, on the other hand, with the level 13 talent that she went for with the Eviscerate. So I'm not quite sure what exactly Abathur is going to use there. Slow it is. They are going for the Envenomed Spying, so the movement speed slow by 40%, and they go straight against the wall. Again, 3 level lead, an extra talent. Hell yeah, I'm in. Of course they're going to go for this one. They're going to move straight in for this one. And they're going to get it too. They get the stun lock against Zokke. We have still 1 tribute down here. Guess who? Yeah, it's Abathur. Abathur is moving in and is claiming it, just making sure that Navi doesn't get that. And to the top lane, currently the defense with Hazorps over here in the middle. We're seeing still the push with 4 heroes. Splendor There's the Divine Shield on Kerrigan, just to be on the safe side. Ravenous Spirit already being used more as well. And Eternal is still very much exposed, but he gets the stun combo off again. And Sport Billy is taken out. Shadowmar with a heal just a tiny bit too late. He himself also killed. Did not have the cooldown ready of Ancestral Healing, and now it's just a snowball fight. Down goes Zagara. They are trying to lock down Chris too. Again, the double Kerrigan. So much stun, so much pressure. And they move for the keep once more. There's only Zocke and Azebo, but it looks like with all of them being low in mana and health, they decide to move back at least for now. It's level 16 versus level 18. With the 16 talents, we see Roccat now finally in a position where they might actually come back into this. I mean, at this point, we're having the tidal waves for the cooldown reduction on the chain heal. We're seeing the leaping spiders. That's going to be an important part of the combo too. And it's also the Blessed Hammer together with the Stone Shield. And let's not forget about the Brute expansion for the double Hunter Killer. A lot of damage, so to say. Not only damage, but also a bit sustain. Stone form in tidal waves for the team sustain or the individual sustain on Muradin, and the rest of the team going for heavy damage talents. So this is going to become very cool fight now over the tribute, because that tribute is going to curse Navi, and apparently they accept it. They accept the curse, the bosses are back up on the map, and this is now the chance that Roccat has to start a slight comeback. They are miles behind Navi, of course, when it comes to experience. It's still very close to that 3-level lead that Navi established earlier, but this is at least an opportunity that now Roccat has to come back. They're starting to take some experience up at the top with Zocke. They can move over and try to claim the boss. They have Sport Billy and the rest of them just in the middle right now. Seriously, that poor Goblin, by the way. If you have to carry like a Jaina, that's still something where you can say, alright, at least she's sexy. But Muradin is just like fat. I don't even know how that works. Muradin is just like a little bit too fat. Think about like a Goblin, if Asmodan could actually mount that Goblin mount. Oh my god, I don't think it works, but that would be pictures in my head. That would be wrong on so many levels. It's nearly as wrong as Kerrigan on that Tiger, but not quite. The bot lane pushed now. And well, as I said, Roccat is just trying to get some experience, and it's a good start to begin taking down structures if you really want to close the gap in experience. We have bosses still up on the map, both of them. So the first team to get one might even get the second one. Right now, we're having them starting to go straight in again. Sport Billy and Eternal are fighting it out here, and the rest of Roccat is already moving in again. But yeah, dodging all of the stuns. Not the Condemn, but the Blessed Shield and also the potential Stormbolt. The more in the last second has of, I got this. And a great move for Zombie Wall, loving it. The more into Zombie Wall, but the Divine Shield is just helping it out for now. Great play here. Really, really solid performance. And now it's a double chain. Now they are trying to apply the slow and the chill, but another Zombie Wall helps, at least for now, with the control. They take down the copy. It's one of those great things about Abathur, that the cooldown reduction on the heroic ability is just so good. And over here now we have in the mid lane even more experience gathered, but it's really coming down to the question, can they contest the boss down here? It's level 20 now with a Hive Mind, a double Bolt of the Storm. We are seeing Redemption in a second on Uther, and also the Hardened Shield now for Tyrael. But Roccat is willing to fight this, especially of course with the Ultimate Evolution still on cooldown and also Divine Shield. So they are trying to go for the fight. They can potentially take it, even with the level 20s, if the boss is helping them out. If not, though, then it's a different story, and that boss is so far not taken. It's a 2-level disadvantage that they have here, and Navi is probably just going to be willing to wait it out, because, well, up at the top lane, Abathur is doing Abathur things. He's starting to push these lanes in. One keep is already down, so the longer this lasts, the higher the chances that Abathur is going to push another lane in. Nice attack against Kerrigan, though. They're moving into Azorbs. Here comes the Judgment. Great move, but Ancestral Healing is already through. The Divine Shield on Kerrigan, allowing Eternal to go super deep, though. He gets the kill against Zagara. Another lockdown against Chris, and Alex jumps in together with him. Sport Billy in the backline already down, and that's another triple kill. 15 kills against 4. Make that 16, and it looks like Kerrigan is even trying to take down Shadowmar, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. And Navi now with level 20 versus 18 and 4 heroes down is just going to go straight for the core to take this one. They are moving in to claim victory in game number 1 of the best of 3 series. And yeah, here we go, starting to take down the core. It's only Rhaegar that can try and stop them, but of course it's not going to happen. Navi with very, very solid moves here on Cursed Hollow, our first map in the best of 3 series, is able to take the lead in the winners match at the end of the Storm playoff Group B. Well played, they take down Roccat, and we're going to move on into game number 2 to find out which team is going to claim the series. Yeah, Navi with a really nice performance here. They get the victory on Cursed Hollow and again the lead in the best of 3 series. In the group they're now 3-0 if we also count the matches against Kinguin before. So now this is the chance for Navi to advance to the round of 8 to qualify right away. We have 4 groups with 4 teams each, and currently Navi is the first team out of Group B that has a chance to qualify with another map win. Roccat, of course, they have other plans. They want to win 2 in a row so that they are the ones to qualify out of these group right away. And, well, maybe they can do it. We'll find out together. Now Battlefield of Eternity is the map. Both of the teams with very solid setups here. We are seeing, again, on the side of Navi, this Leoric play that they already value highly on other maps like Dragonshire. They're running this with a Jaina. They have a Nazebo as well. Rhaegar is being played by them right now. He's one of those top healers these days. Uther, Rhaegar, and probably Karazim are the monks that are being played, the healers that are being played the most. On the side of their opponent, we have set Uther already, and Uther in this case together with the Tyrande. So it's a little bit of a stun comp that we see there. The Johanna is being played as the frontline hero on the side of Roccat, so they don't have that Mirrodin to start things off with the Stormbolt, but it's still pretty solid if you want to lock a target down. Zagara is being played. She is very, very popular on Battlefield of Eternity. She's a very popular hero in herself, but on Battlefield of Eternity she is extremely strong, and so is also Vala that has been chosen here. So this is the chance for Roccat to force a tie and force the third map. Will they be able to do it, or is Roccat going to take another 2-0 victory? We're going to find out together now on Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 2 in the best of 3 series has started. We are on Battlefield of Eternity, and it is the winners match at the end of the Storm with Roccat facing off against Navi. Currently to the left side of the map we have Roccat, the German team, down 1 game in the best of 3 series, with Chris on Vala, Shadowmar on Uther, Zocke on Johanna, Hazops on Zagara, and Sport Billy on Tyrande. To the right side of the map, Splendor for Navi is playing Rhaegar. Support here we have Alex the Frog on Leoric, JPL on Nazebo, Eternal on Jaina, and with the double warrior combination, Schwimpy on Mirrodin. The first game was pretty solid actually by both of the teams, up to the point where we had that big boss battle suddenly happening. And then it was just a snowball for Navi, playing extremely well and not making any mistakes basically, not allowing their opponents to get a foothold in the map again. Right now it's a bit of a different story though. The setup that we're seeing for Roccat is a little bit more aggressive than the last match. We're having with Tyrande now a lot of potential to get combos off. I'm not 100% certain if I like her pick. It's very aggressive. It's one of those high risk, high reward plays. If they get ahead in the game, then they are in a very solid position to claim this match. But at this point, as you can see, it's going to be a bit tricky. Usually when you're running something like an Uther together with a Mirrodin or any kind of other stun, and then also maybe, I don't know, a Jaina for the burst damage, you have a very early roaming squad. What they are relying upon though is rather the later or the mid-game stages, when there's a more as a potential setup for a Tyrande stun. Then they can also use Rain of Vengeance if they want on Vala, and it's very likely actually that Rain of Vengeance is being picked because Vala is already going into her... Oh, there's a lockdown attempt and the kill against Jaina, but they extend a whole lot for this one, and Shadowmar might actually die. Wow, that was a close one. He survives for now, but Zocke and Shadowmar are both extremely low. And Schwimpy just barely dodges this one, jumps away in the last second. As I was about to say though, we're probably going to see the Rain of Vengeance on Vala, because Chris already chose to go into an auto attack build, and if you build up those hatred stacks for Rancor, then you don't want to use Strafe, since you would lose all of those stacks and have to restart the building process, and you don't really want to do that. So Rain of Vengeance is probably going to be the choice here, and it makes sense. I mean, if you're setting everything up with a Maw anyways, then you can go into the Tyrande stun, and you can also use the Rain of Vengeance in the same capacity to get a bit of a wipe. So that's probably what they're going to try and do. Very aggressive setup here early on, and they got their first kill already. First objective is on the map, and both of the teams are aiming for it. The top lane, by the way, is dominating now with the battle between Leoric and Zagara, both of the pushing heroes. The best heroes for pushing power in general for the two teams are currently at the top lane and trying to fight that battle. But everything else is currently happening here at the bot lane, and especially the Immortal that we're seeing for the blue team is currently being defended. The teams are just trying to get a pick. As long as when they get one kill, then it's gonna be quite easy to snowball a little bit and at least get a few hit points off the opponent's Immortal. Of course, the death timers are not really high enough yet to make anything else happen. Nice stun here against the backline, but JPL with the Zebo is once again rushing in. Schwimpy and also Eternal putting pressure onto Sport Billy on Tyrande. There they go in again, but Schwimpy jumps out as he also gets a lot of damage pushed upon him. So the well is still up for all of these boys, and therefore they can just simply go back into base and then on lane again. Level 4 talents will help a bit, and level 4 with Feral Heart is definitely helping Splendor to keep his mana pull up so that he gets the extra heal out. Mostly it's still the defense on the side of Team Roccat that is helping out here, but Navi is pushing in again, and especially Nazebo has of course quite some poke damage that he can apply. And he is doing exactly that. But the teams are in a very similar situation right now. Both of them already pushed the opponent's hit point pool very, very low. And they are just trying to burst him down super fast. And it looks like Roccat is going to win this battle. It's not a big lead that they have, but it's only going to be a tiny shield. But still, it's there. So, slammed into the ground. Ilarion gets her victory here. And, well, down to the bot lane, we have the rest of the teams starting in. This is also what the Immortal is going to be, by the way. So, oftentimes you have a rotation to the other lane by the team that won the objective, trying to push two lanes at once. But with the shield being so low, they didn't really try and do that. The shield's actually going to be done in a second, and I don't think that Immortal is going to survive for too much longer. Just burst it down. They are going to be lucky if they take down one tower, and not even that is happening here. So, yep, that's already gone. But maybe the kill? No! Yes! Oh, close. Shrimpy jumps back in the last second, and he might get the kill on the tower after all. But more so thanks to Chris than anybody else. Boundless Conviction and Reach have been used by Soccer, so he wants to make sure that he gets those heals in no matter where his colleagues are in the game. At the top lane, it's still Leoric versus Zagara. This game is basically just happening down at the bot lane, and those two heroes, they could be down here. They could fight a 5 versus 5 down here, because they basically negate each other up at the top lane, as you can see. They're still in the middle here. Hazops is putting the creep tumors in as well, but down to the bot lane, that's where we're having level 7 hit a bit faster on the side of Navi, and they are currently with the Git Bin and also Frostbitten with Lingering Apparition and Cleanse really starting to get those complete builds in. But we have another camp taken, and in this case it's a Bruiser camp for Team Roccat. So that is going to help them a lot with the push on the bot lane. They took it a bit early though. Oh, nice stun against Rhaegar, and Rhaegar is gonna fall. Heck, get him, but JPL is now moving in and they're trying to get some counter damage in. Soccer at this point is in trouble. He doesn't have his shield up. There's no trade for him. Is there gonna be a stun? Yes, and they get Uther. They might even get more than that. So it's kill versus kill in this case. Endless creep for Hazops that should help him establish dominance up at the top lane. JPL down here still with his spiders poking the entire time. Uther didn't even take his level 7 talent. It might have helped him a bit, but there's no pre-cleanse available to him anymore, so yeah, waits a bit until he takes his cleanse, but cleanse it's gonna be. I mean, what else are you gonna take on him? Oh wow! Burden of Guilt, look at that! The extra slow on the Hammer of Justice. Unexpected. Has been quite some time since I've seen that talent taken on level 7. To be honest with you, I've never seen that talent taken on level 7, at least not when we're talking about the top 10 teams in Europe. So that's an interesting one. No cleanse needed, apparently. Yeah, jumping in again as the Immortal is already there, and Roccat is being pushed back a tiny little bit. Experience-wise, Navi is ahead. Alex is this time participating in the fight as well. Hazops is also here with a lot of creep already spread in the middle, so they know exactly where the rotation is going to come in. We have, besides that, also Lunar Blaze taken on Tyrande. We have also now Muradin with a double stun, and they are protecting their own. They're protecting their Immortal here, trying to make sure that that BSC boy is not going to drop too soon. And the rotation up to the top is starting to put pressure onto the blue team's Immortal, and they are doing quite well here. Down to the bot lane, there's the stun against Shrimp. Cleanse has been used. He has to jump away, and he does that in the last second before the Condemn hits. We have Alex the Pro G with the Wraith Walk, and Splendor also moving back. but still the pressure up at the top thanks to JPL and his Nazeebo. They are going to get it to half health a bit faster. What about the bot lane though? Can they get maybe a kill in? I mean, at this point, Shrimpy, Alex the Pro, G Eternal, they are all welling up, moving back, trying to have that sustain, especially with the Feral Heart on Splendor. Rega is not going to have any problems with his mana pool. They're going straight for the Immortal again. Shrimpy is up at the front. They're trying to burst it down, doing a great job with that. Shrimpy jumps away, and Soccer was so low, but he gets away. Alex is not able to drop him using the Skeleton Swing, but not having enough damage. The Immortal ends up in the hands of Na'Vi. Well played, and they didn't lose a single hero here. Great play by Na'Vi, claiming objective number 2 on the map. It's going to move down to the bot lane, and we have immediately Hazops orientating himself up to the top, where he's attempting to drop the towers here, but JPL with a poke is using his own Leaping Spiders. Level 10s for both of the teams are now ready. And we're having Ancestral Healing taken on the side of Rhaegar. We have the March of the Black King. There's already Gary the Gargantuan being used up at the top. Water Elemental down here on the other hand. Blessed Shield. Yes, the Ancestral Starfall has been used more. And of course, as we already said earlier, it is the Rain of Vengeance here on the side of Vala. So no big surprise here. Taking Rain of Vengeance and therefore making sure that those stacks that you build up for Hatred are still going to be available to you after you use your Rogue ability. That's something that you don't have if you use Strafe, and that's a big disadvantage of Strafe if you're trying to go for an auto attack build. So level 10 versus level 11 at this point. We're seeing also up at the top lane a lot of pressure against this one fort in particular, and that's because Alex was not alone here trying to push that in. It was also Nazeebo helping him out with it. Another Khazra camp taken to the bot lane. Na'Vi is really starting to control the map. They took the last objective, they are moving along the map, trying to take also a few of the mercenary camps. Alex is just double checking what's happening up here at the top, but they have a lot of pushing power, thanks to Alex in particular, and also with Nazeebo, another hero that has really great potential and great siege damage. This fort down here is already pressured in, and there's a rotation from Roccat. They're going to try and defend it. Zocca alone won't be able to do anything here. Chris is with him now, eats that Stormbolt though, gets healed by Shadowman. They're going deep for it, but Hazops is needed if they really want to save it, and it looks like they try to do that. To the top lane, it's Tyrande against Leoric, and so far I don't think that Tyrande is going to have a lot of fun there. Leoric is pushing that lane back and is also starting to take now another wave, and there's minion wave after minion wave coming in for Na'Vi, and that is going to make it very difficult for Tyrande to really keep that alive. So right now it's pressure on all lanes against Team Roccat, and that is solid experience that is ending up in the hands of Na'Vi. And if they reach level 13 before Roccat does, and the objective spawns on the map, then Roccat is in trouble, and they know that too. It's 2 kills against 1, but here's the objective. We're having another 10 seconds until the Immortals are back in business, and only half a level of experience needed for Team Na'Vi to get their 13. And they're rushing over to their own camp, trying to now claim the Bruiser camp, and these bad boys, they pushed pretty hard. That Shaman is extremely strong, especially with him just like summoning Fellhound after Fellhound. Now everybody is in the mid lane there. Leoric is going to try to get the last few experience points that they need. They need like one more wave, and there it is. So they're already moving over. Na'Vi is just trying to stall some time. They're not going to commit too much to it. They're waiting for the level 13, and they're going to get it. Already Shrimpy with the damage against Chris, and there's level 13 now for them. With the Thing of the Deep here for Nazeebo for the extra range. We're also having Healing Surge, Burning Rage. Great talents for them. That's a very, very big advantage that they have now. Down to the bot lane, there's another Bruiser camp, though, this time on the side of Roccat, and it already starts to drop a tower, but Eternal is ready for it. At the top lane then, Alex pushed back that fort completely, and Roccat, they have to do something. I mean, they have to be at so many places at once right now. They need to defend the top lane, they need to defend their Immortal. There's very little that they can do. The level 13 is going to be ready for them in just a bit, but the problem is that they already lost nearly half the health or half the hit points on their own Immortal, and that is a big issue. So now the rotation is happening again. Vala down here is being attacked. Chris has to use his own heroic. He gets stunned, he gets slowed, and he gets killed. Vala is down. It's a 5 versus 4, and Na'Vi moves in. They're trying to take down another one, but they're already finding themselves in a great position here. Oh boy, Eternal gets healed in the last second, nearly taken down by that quick Starfall that we saw from Tyrande, but now we're having them with 13 versus 13, but it's a 5 versus 4 situation on the map. There is no way for Roccat to do anything. This is going to be a nearly full shield Immortal for Team Na'Vi. The heroics We have the Shrink Ray, there's a Burning Rage, Overflowing Light is gonna make it easier with the sustain now, but Beleth is going to drop once again for Na'Vi, and they are in a superb position right now to maybe even take a keep. If they push together with that, they might be able to take a keep, but they don't even think about it. They're saying, hey, this bad boy has full shields. It's gonna take ages for them to kill it. We can just move down here and can push in the bot keep and let the Immortal do its thing up at the top, and that's exactly what they're doing. Leoric is with the Immortal, he's just gonna try and buy some time, and with a Skeleton Swing he can take these waves down easy peasy. Just look how much damage that thing does. It's a team fight down to the bot lane though. Nice stuns! Really nice one! Oh, and the kill against Rhaegar. Great play here. And can Roccat take down Shrimpy? He jumps! And he will die after all, won't he? Yeah, he's gonna die there. Muradin goes down, but at the top lane, this is Beleth moving in. Beleth is trying to claim the keep, and Leoric is with him. So it's more about the keep than anything else right now. Alex is already there. He's going to move away, but it looks like Roccat might be actually able to save this for now. Yeah, that Immortal does damage, and that Immortal is really strong, but it does not take down the keep. It's close, but it's definitely not falling. The bot lane is being assailed again. The wall is gone. Level 16 is now ready for Team Na'Vi, and that of course puts an additional talent in their hands again. With the tidal wave, they have super sustain now in team fights. That's going to help with the next Immortal, but I guess by then we are also going to see the level 16 talent drop for Roccat, so that's going to be pretty convenient. Stone form taken for now though. And I mean, what exactly can you take on the map? There's two camps that can be claimed now. One at the bot lane is claimed by Roccat. The other one up to the top is in this case now attacked by JPL. So it's basically a nearly even trade when it comes to the map objectives that are available. And there's very little chance of Na'Vi actually capitalizing on that lead in talents that they now have. What are they going to do? They cannot simply force a fight. I mean, how are you going to do that? Alex is definitely going to put up another pressure point at the top lane. It's going to force them into a very awkward position, having to defend over and over again. But with that lingering apparition talent, there's absolutely no way for them to completely lock him down. They need to react against that Khaldor camp, and that opens up an opportunity for Team Na'Vi to move to the bot lane. I don't think that they have the time to really take the Bruiser camp. They would love to do that, but they are going to go up against that keep again. Level 17 versus level 16. We're having both of the teams now straight with their level 16 talents. Benediction, Blessed Hammer, the Brood expansion, and they're apparently going to try and contest it here. They're jumping in, poking just a little bit. Na'Vi needs to be careful though, because, well, that camp has been claimed, so Na'Vi needs to burst this one down super fast, so it's camp versus camp at least. But yeah, talent-wise, it's exactly the same that we're going to see here. So right now, that objective could be deciding the game. It depends who's going to take it, but at this point, with that burst that we're seeing for Roccat right over here, it looks very much like Roccat might actually win this one. There's no team fight just yet. Both of the teams went straight for the Immortals, didn't even try to fight. Now, of course, with the position changed, they're seeing the defense from Na'Vi. They're defending their own. We have Roccat still testing the waters, waiting, circling, looking for an opportunity to stun somebody, but nah. That was a bit of a wasted stun here by Tyrande. Usually that doesn't happen. I mean, you're not going to get that stun against Shrimpy. Stun into stun! Divine Shield on Chris already. Bala is moving back in the last second here. Maw didn't hit anything. Uther is down, and this is a problem, a big one for Team Roccat. Nice Rain of Vengeance, but it only hits one. Shrimpy just barely moves out of the range. The Water Elemental already pushing them back, and with a healer eliminated, what can Roccat do? We have the top lane still pushing, and this lane is going up against the keep. The bot lane, of course, is pushing for Roccat, but it's only threatening a fort. Trading a fort for a keep? Of course Navi's going to do that. Navi's going to be happy to trade that. And right now, Roccat has to react, and they do it. The problem is with them moving over to the keep and defending it, they will lose the Immortal again, and that's exactly what happens. That Immortal is taken by Na'Vi. Na'Vi is again in a situation where the objectives have claimed by them. This keep is going to fall eventually. Alex alone can move in. They don't even need the Immortal. They don't need anybody there. Alex on Leoric can move in, take it down, and move away with a lingering apparition. Super easy for him to use his Wraith Walk in this situation. He's already threatening it. He's already threatening it, and this is why they're waiting here. Uther is, of course, now back. 3 kills against 4. We have more kills for Roccat, but it just doesn't matter. It just does not matter. They are 1.5 levels behind when it comes to the structures, when it comes to the objectives on the map, and the way that they play the game. then they are simply ahead. Leoric doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He takes down the keep and starts to move into the team fight now. And with the Immortal threatening keep number 2, Roccat is rushing back and trying to defend somehow. But here comes the attack again. Divine already used on the side of Johanna. Here comes the stun against Zagara. Zagara is so low, and the kill! Ancestral healing, keeping Leoric alive. Zocke is rushing away with his iron skin, but they are all low, and the GG called as hero number 2 falls. Uther is down. A 5 versus 3 with the Immortals still pushing hard against the core, and this is going to be game. A 2-0 victory for Navi in this best of 3 series at the winners match in Group B of the End of the Storm tournament. Johanna down, and Navi qualifies for the round of 8. Congratulations, solid performance here, a 2-0 victory over Roccat. Really well played by Navi, and they advance to the next round of the tournament. Navi is just simply too strong. They take it with the 2-0, they win on Battlefield of Eternity, and Roccat is now not out of the tournament yet, but they are going to face Kinguin in the consolation match. Kinguin was able to take down the Evil Murkies, so Roccat has another chance facing off against Kinguin, and the winner of that best of 3 series will then advance together with Navi out of Group B here in the playoffs. The End of the Storm round of 8 is going to be amazing. We will have an entire weekend, 3 days with Heroes of the Storm action, and it's going to be just awesome. Navi, they just qualified by winning the winners match here. We already have Team Liquid in the round of 8 and Alternate Fancy, and of course next week we're going to cast even more matches in Group C and Group D with other teams like Fnatic, Gamers 2, Bob, Virtus Pro playing there. So it's going to be really good. That round of 8 is going to be a blast. But in this game here, in this series, Navi, they took it. They took it with a 2-0. Very, very solid performance that we saw from them. So congratulations to Navi reaching the round of 8. If you guys enjoyed the commentary and the games, then of course make sure that you give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you should definitely hit that sub button, because there's so much Heroes of the Storm content coming your way. We have more End of the Storm matches coming up very soon. We also have, of course, another Road to BlizzCon qualifier starting in just a few days, which is also going to be super important. So guys, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I had a blast casting the games. I hope that you enjoyed them as well. And I'm going to see you next time for more Heroes of the Storm content here on Khaldor TV. See you soon. Bye-bye.